Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 313 of the Fans Power Podcast. I'm Nathan Kennedy, joined by the man who always is willing to take this bullet along with me, Joe Amato, this lazy bastard. Didn't get his laptop, so it's going to be up to me here in a bit to read everyone in the chat room and read the questions later, because he couldn't be bothered to go into another room and grab his laptop.
Well, see, what was happening was I was trying to get everything organized right here, and as I was doing, I was like, oh crap, it's still downstairs. If I do that, I still got to hook it up. I'll move things around, so it just would have. It was an inconvenience. And I was like, Nathan handles the chat well. I mean, he can introduce, and he always gets the questions. So I was like, so I won't be able to see anything. In case people wonder, like, is Joe ignoring us? Like, no, just Joe ain't seeing shit because laptop's not here. So I apologize for that.
Thanks, you jerk.
No problem. That's okay. That's least I can do.
Yeah. And for those of you wondering, if you're new to the show and you're like, hey, where's Rebecca? Where's Tyler? They when it comes to these newer shows, they're like, I'm good. Especially with this one, because I don't even think either one of them watched any second of season 1 of this show. So why would they bother?
It's not made for them. Let me, before you get to the chat, I will clarify something. For any adult that likes or dislikes this cartoon, remember, it's not made for you, so your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah, pretty
Just
much.
remember that. Yeah, remember that. Yeah, it's not made for you, so whether you like it or dislike it, it's not made for you. But then you might be asking, well, why are we talking about it? Well, it is Masters of the Universe related, and of course we're going to discuss it no matter what and give our opinions. So, but yeah, you can go to the chat, do whatever, but just had a
nice little disclaimer there, Joe.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to that chat room. We have Febmon, MCDJ ACDC. You gotta change that name up. Papa Hud 69, Johnny Cock. Now see, I don't pay attention when you do it anymore, because you're like, I did it right. Paulric is here. Simple Tricks and Nonsense. Pride of Grayskull. Scrolling, JSP. That's kind of what we have right now. I'm sure more people are going to be like, wait, they're live, and start to trickle in as we continue to
Can I say something? Simple Tricks and Nonsense? Hold on, just stay right there.
Okay.
I will figure a way. They got me something really cool, which I will be using on future episodes. It's a nice new hood. I just tried to put it on before this, though, along with my hood to go over that. But then I couldn't get the earpiece in because this is super tight. But I am going to, like I said, I might just pop a little hole to the side for when I start going forward with the episodes. Because what's great about this is this thing does cover completely the sides of my face. Like if I do a little this, you're seeing some skin, and I don't want no skin shown.
You don't want no skin.
But, no. But anyways, so this is amazing. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, because I am going to wear this going forward now for all future episodes. I just got to pop a little hole to the side so I can pop in my earpiece, because I was sitting right before the show doing it, and Nathan was giving that look, so I'll just hold on a second. Every time I put it in, it popped it out.
No, it wasn't quite like that. Joe was sitting there being Joe. He's like, God damn it, motherfucker. And then he got up and walked away. I was like, what's going on? Because I was too busy looking at all of this and moving shit around to make sure everything was good.
But this is great. Like I said, I need this. I mean, because it covers the entire face. The only thing that is revealed is the eyes, and if I pull it down, I can then have the nose and mouth, so obviously I can breathe better. But all the face is covered. So thank you, Simple Tricks and Nonsense. This is amazing. I'll wear it tomorrow.
And hello to Brian Brummagem and Jeff Morris, who just popped in here. Thank you for joining us on a different night. We'll be here again tomorrow at our 8 o'clock time, but we won't be doing Fans of Power. We're going to be doing something different, and we're going to be talking about Fire and Ice. So
what a great cartoon. What a great movie.
It's on, if you look at Fire and Ice full movie on YouTube, you can find it on there. It's free on Tubi, and it's free on Vudu right now. Probably with ads, I would say, but if you're already watching stuff on YouTube and don't have a premium sub, you got ads anyway. So make sure you guys give that a watch tonight. That way you can join in on the discussion tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, exactly. And there's no new news. Nothing as for news-wise. So there's nothing.
It's not really news, but I did get the notification that my Mondo Hordak is about to arrive at Big Bad Toy Store, so that should ship out here pretty soon.
Didn't those already ship? I thought they already shipped.
Well, if you got them from Mondo themselves, it did, but I ordered mine on Big Bad Toy Store, so
Oh God, because I got
Had to wait a
confused.
little
I almost thought there was. I thought there was like 3 versions. There was the Filmation color, the regular, but then the regular was something else or something. I don't know. My brain exploded. I was like, I can't afford to get them anyways. But I thought there was like 3 or something. I don't know.
I think there's only there's only 2. Man, that hot honey chicken still kind of, I guess, stuck.
You hooked on it, huh? $6.19. Hooked on the hot honey.
Yeah, I got the hot honey. I got a Dave's single, 4-piece nugget and fry.
Now, did you guys hear this? He talks about me like, how do you eat so much? And, you just only weigh whatever, 100 and something. And I was like, well, look at him. He's eating like tons of shit. I wish I could eat like that every day, have 8 sandwiches and 2 fries and a fucking Frosty and a drink.
Well, you could. You're just too cheap to do it.
Ain't too cheap. It's like, that's a lot of money. You got to have a lot of money to do that. That's why when I do get food from you guys, I go nuts because I'm not used to having that much food. It's
that
usually
luxury.
ramen and other cheap. Yeah, that luxury. It's like, wait, real food? Yeah, I'm going to devour that. Or I'll suck down some Alfredo sauce. It's like, is there any kind of vegetable or nutrients in it?
I forgot all about you drinking that entire jar of Alfredo sauce. Wow.
And I did it with...
No.
And it was the second time I ever had Alfredo. I don't flip over, but all in my mind,
Wait. You're Italian, man. You should have.
But we don't. I mean, at least
don't fuck with that Alfredo, right?
No, we like just tomato-based sauces. I don't flip over the Alfredo stuff. Okay. But like I said, so I jump at any opportunity. Italian, piss off. My dad's full-blooded, I'm half, but no, we like making our sauces, fucking from tomatoes, some real shit. That Alfredo, we don't do backflips. Never did over that shit. But I said, so
the aftertaste on Alfredo sauce isn't great.
It wasn't, especially when you suck it down.
Especially while you suck it, yeah. It's fine while you're eating it, but not long after that, because I used to like. The penne noodles and with Alfredo sauce and pieces of chicken in there, and I loved eating it. But then the aftertaste, it always made me nauseous afterwards. So I cut that out completely.
Yeah, picture me with what I did. That was rough, but it was still a form of food. Any form of food. I mean, hell, I ate bugs and spiders. I mean, I'm desperate.
We need to do that again. We need someone to send you more bugs for you to eat.
I'll eat any of them. Send the tarantula something. It's like, at least it's edible. I'm gonna eat it. I don't care. I'm hungry.
And more panties for Joe. More edible panties for Joe.
Boy, and those, isn't it said that was the worst part? It's like, how is this the worst part? It should be. Well, maybe once they're, fuck it.
Well, I mean, when it's mixed in with the other juices, it adds. That's what ignites the flavor in the edible panties.
This was like a stale, horrible fucking fruit roll-up or something. God, what am I eating?
Oh, man. Of course. Hey, let's talk about edible panties when we're giving our review of season 2 of a CGI show that's aimed towards children.
The children's aimed towards children.
For the kids.
So, yeah.
We're here for the kids,
Exactly. They're all gathered around, like you guys said last week, with the parents, ready to hear about this wholesome new CGI.
Yeah, I hope this works into the algorithm somehow of like just some kid mistakenly gets on their parents' account and starts looking up, and the parent hears edible panties and juices in the background, and they run into the room. What the hell are you watching? No more internet for you.
Oh, shit. So, well, whatever you want, we can start into this, and after that, get to the chat, their thoughts and questions and whatever. But however you want to start.
Man, where would you want to start from the beginning? I would think, I would get this out of the way. I would say that if you enjoyed season 1, I think for the most part. You'll enjoy this. For the most part. Now, yeah, there are a
lot of silly stuff that was going on. We're going to get into.
There was. But go ahead.
No, I mean, I will say, again, this is for kids. And if the kid... See, this is what's different about kids for when we were growing up and kids now. Like, okay, the original cartoon, that was for kids. But you know what? Young kids, teens, young adults, even adults, all enjoyed Filmation. You could all watch it. This, with a lot of the humor and weird stuff that was going on, it's like you can tell they're trying to get the yucks and laughs out of all the little kids. It's something that they're trying to do with everything. They figured kids just like humor. Instead of treating kids like little adults that have an imagination and a mind that can actually enjoy a real story, they always have to dumb stuff down, which annoyed me. But if you are into action, this thing's loaded with fucking action. You have a transformation. Yeah, you have transformation in every episode. Of course, I hate the whole everybody sharing bullshit. It should still just be He-Man, and everybody else is already having their powers and abilities, but whatever.
It doesn't, that part of it now, Doesn't bother me
kinda numb.
anymore.
It's like you're numb. Yeah, you're numb to it.
Yeah.
So it's as for an action show for kids, yes. For Masters of the Universe fans, no, because it's so far removed with almost all this shit. It's like, it doesn't feel like He-Man. It's He-Man name alone, just like New Adventures of He-Man. That was called He-Man, but for me, I was like, this doesn't feel like He-Man. And same with this.
Yeah.
So I always put them in this pretty much the same category. But no, and if you like video games, the kids, if they're into this stuff, that has that vibe, especially a part where they kept showing Trapjaw and Beastman in that one. I know what you know what I'm talking about when they're facing off. I was like,
like a
video
game.
I was like, oh, a Street Fighter, I get it. Like they're heads up, but they did it so many times. But okay, I rambled, and then we can get going.
Well, it is what it is at this point. You know what you're getting into. For the most part, it didn't bother me that much. As you said, it's He-Man in name only. It's very detached from anything that you know and love about it. But like I said before, and I hate that I'm probably going to regurgitate a lot of what I said in season 1, I'm glad that at least they did something different. It's not just a total retread of shit they've done in the past. Go ahead, go that different direction. Try to aim more at a younger generation. Whatever. Don't have any problem with it. I liked Manny Faces. I like them going back, like the theater roots and kind of playing more into that. I liked his design. I thought he was generally okay, and they didn't overuse him too much at all. He was just kind of here and there. I guess it was the Roton, right? That's what those
those were
like.
Rotons. Yeah.
I didn't mind that design either.
Everything is obviously real techie, even though we're supposed to have magic. Everything is definitely more tech, and I think that's what, for me, the look and design of CGI, like, yes, that can work, and there's some movies that do it beautifully, obviously. Video games, it can be real fun, but I felt like when I'm watching this, it just reminds me of cutscenes in a video game, and for some reason, it always takes me out of it, because even stuff that's supposed to be cloth or hair, it just looks tech-like, if you know what I mean. It doesn't have a flow or a realistic look because it's CGI, and it reminds me of like New Adventures. There was this commercial I think they did for the toys. I'm sure it was the toys and not the cartoon, but it was for the toys, and it was when they were first getting to start using CGI back in that day. Yeah. And I was like, oh god, this ain't what the cartoon's gonna look like, is it? I mean, that shit would freak me out. Or is this supposed to be just like the toys? But it had a funky look, and I see this and I don't know. I what I give them is,
but you're also more of, because you're 72 years old, so your whole mindset, you're more conditioned to the older style of filmation. Like 2012 Turtles is kind of what I go back to in terms of how it looks aesthetically. But
hell, I love MYP. MYP did a beautiful job. That's way past filmation, and I love that look. It was a cartoon look.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that CG kind of look to it. It's definitely more in line with 2012 Turtles, even though that show was written way better than this was. But that's kind of what I went to, and I didn't even think about that this go around. I'm just here for the ride. The episodes went pretty fast for me. I didn't have any like pacing issues with it.
You know what angers me? See, here's the thing. The Revelations cartoon, when that came out, there was expectations. We're like, oh my god, this could be fucking awesome. And then it just turned to crap like, This one, I didn't have expectations. So it's like, I'm not angry at it. It's like, I can't be angry. I'm watching it again. I'm not the target audience, but I am a He-Man fan. So you're damn right. I'm going to give my opinion on this property. So I was like, okay, they are given action. It doesn't feel like He-Man, but they're given action. I was like, why the fuck couldn't they did this with Revelation? Have something where there was every episode you're seeing some amazing transformation, tons of action, not just boring dialogue that drags the fuck on to where you got to wait to the end to where you're getting your hero, who doesn't even do shit, by the way, in fucking Revelation. But yeah, I mean, like, oh, he turns into fucking He-Man. He's with Skeletor, and two of them still can't beat Evelyn. But Sorceress, the new Sorceress, Teela, she can. So He-Man's a piece of shit and worthless in his own new cartoon. So what I'm saying is this cartoon gave what the other one should have, and it had a good story arc that could go throughout. I'm not saying the person who wrote this and the person that's behind it is a genius, because, well, fuck, he's the one that everybody has to share the power in his mind, which drives me fucking insane. He can't get this out of his head. It's like, stop everybody sharing the power. But what I meant is, you did get a story that was coherent all the way through. Lots of action. What kids eat up. Kids want to see action. I lost it with some of the shit with the dancing crap.
Before we get into that,
we won't. Yeah, go ahead.
The main story arc of this season is trying to obtain these 3 sigil pieces that would bring back the Snake Men, essentially. Which
who have the power to raise the dead?
Yeah. So it's a race to try to obtain certain pieces, and it bounces back and forth. And I guess one of the first things, because I got like just some short notes here.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about all the established characters of old that are introduced that are new to this season. So we have Stratos, we have Webstore, we have. She only said her name once.
Mosquito-Ra instead of Mosquito, Mosquito-Ra.
Mosquito-Ra. But the one to me that was the most like, I kind of see where you're going with that, but is this Triclops? Because Triclops isn't the Triclops that you know. It's just like a sentient hover robot, similar in the vein of how Orko is in the series.
And in a way, you even said almost like, sentient, but also it like takes part of whatever host it is and takes over it.
Yeah.
Now, again, they're always trying something different, which, yes, for that, they're trying something different. Okay, but it's like, this ain't the Triclops I know. He's always going to be the bounty hunter from that fucking mini comic. Hell, I told you I didn't even really a fan of Triclops in MYP or even Filmation. It's like, I love the mini comic Triclops. Like, oh my God, a bounty hunter type fucking warrior that was beating the shit out of everybody. He-Man, fucking Teela, Battle Cat. I mean, knocking Battle Cat out with a punch is like, damn, this sucker's badass. So this is just weird. And I think another one that annoyed the shit out of me when they have to use Earth vernacular was Gary.
Oh, and Gary the Dragonfly, huh?
And you noticed the voice. I'm sure you recognize that person's voice, didn't you?
Yeah, that sounded like Bobcat.
And it was Bobcat.
Was it? I didn't look at any of the credits, but just hearing him, because he sings, he's just this giant dragonfly, and I'm sure by now people that haven't watched the show that are watching this review, they're like, "What the fuck, a giant dragonfly?" Oh, sure, all right. But he has a little singing number, but because of course we get a Teela and Evil Lyn have to kind of team up and hang out together because
again,
for some reason that's something before. That they really want to make a thing going forward, I guess. But
non-stop,
he just has this silly song and does the stuff, and in my head I'm like, would a kid enjoy this? Would they laugh at it? More than likely they would, but I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, all right, that's good, it's done and over with. And Gary kind of pops in and out of a couple other episodes.
I just hate again, the name though alone pissed me off. I was like, using
Gary.
Earth type names
just
like
Gary.
that. Just Gary, and he's talking about a horse. What are horses? Like, they don't know. It's like, just that shit is the stuff that kind of annoyed me. But, no, they do love trying to do the team up of Evelyn and Teela nonstop. And, of course, they have to go back with the goddamn Evelyn name, which just, I hate
and
that.
Rakaz, don't forget about Rakaz.
Yeah, all the shit names. There's just, I wish they wouldn't do this for kids, though. I wish they would, again, try to write a cartoon to where, yes, there can be moments of humor, but not tons. I mean, it's like that's all they're trying to do is make it so silly. They didn't do that to us. See, there's a lot of people that want to shit on Filmation. Oh, that was goofy all the time. Was it? Go back and watch the episodes. Sure, there could be moments of humor, but this just went over the top. I mean, first you were the other thing, like I said, there's the dancing part, there's the birthday shit. It's like there's so many things. Like,
let's go ahead and give context to that then. So,
go ahead.
Gary has one of the sigil pieces. He ate it because he's giant dragonfly. He eats Teela and Evil Lyn, but Teela uses a spell and they vanish out of him, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. He ends up throwing that piece up essentially, but one of the other sigil pieces is guarded by another set of robots, and they don't take kindly to being mean. So if you talk to this robot mean, it's ready to engage with you.
Or even with each other, you have to constantly be good around them at all times.
Yeah, so He-Man and Skeletor, this was the train episode, so
Yes.
they're on this giant train that has one of the sigil pieces, and He-Man and Skeletor have to be nice to each other, so this one robot doesn't freak out, and he's like, sir, ma'am, can you kindly show us to where the sigil piece is?
Yeah, because they would all self-destruct, remember? If they got angry, everything would blow to shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they go into one of the other carts, and there's other robots, and there's like it's not a disco ball, but it's like got lights on it. You would see it like a dance, and they're all dancing with each other. And He-Man and Skeletor are like, oh, okay. So then it turns into a bit. They cut from that. They do some other stuff with some of the other characters. They come back. And He-Man and Skeletor are dancing with each other, and they're talking about how ridiculous this is, and they're going to grab the sigil piece, and the robots take them away so each of them can have a turn. One of the robots is kind of in love and infatuated with Skeletor, which was whatever. Anyway, Stratos ends up coming in there and pissing all of them off, and everything blows up, which I want to talk about Stratos.
Before Stratos, real quick, if you could hold the Stratos thing, I did want to say when they were first trying to stop that train, I noticed they were borrowing stuff from other movies and franchises. He-Man had his Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man 2 moment where he's, in front of the train and jumps down and puts his feet down like he's trying to stop it. Remember when Tobey Maguire was doing it as Spider-Man? Yeah. So they tried to do that. But yeah, get to Stratos. Go ahead.
Those of you that have watched the 2012 Ninja Turtle show, if you know how Bebop was in it, Stratos is the same way. He's very like, I'm really cool. I'm better than all you guys. And as Tyler would say, it sounds like he's talking jive, but not really. And I know Joe's not going to bring it up, but they changed the color of his skin. Him and the rest of his race are now red, whereas before they were black. Or at least that's how it looked on the figure. I don't know if there were there any stills beforehand that were released showing Stratos?
They just showed the figure, and he was black. And the community, all of my friends who are black who are into Masters of the Universe, erupted in anger.
Oh yeah.
They all did. They said, "Why did they take the flying monkey and make him black?" They were
not a good
pissed,
look.
and yeah, not a good look. And I think Mattel might have started noticing in places like, what the fuck did we just do? It's like, yeah, you did some racist shit right there. Yeah. So they took him, and now he's red. So Mattel knew they fucked up. It's
like just enough of a hue to be like, okay, he's red.
Yeah, so it's they like switched the hue switch,
yeah. But he's kind of annoying.
Yeah, because he's about himself in that statue. That's what started all. Remember that statue got cracked of him that was made in his honor. So it's like, it's kind of the world revolves around him.
And he wants to constantly join the team and kind of quasi take over, and He-Man kicks him out. But he was just kind of really annoying. And then at one point, he goes and recruits web store. What's it again? What's her name?
Mosquito Ruh. Yeah, she was like by herself or with some other things, but then he has her join up with him, and now it's like she's good. And then Web Store, he has a battle with Web Store. Now Web Store is good. It's like, why are you taking all the evil characters and making them good now? No, you leave them how they should be.
And Gary the Dragonfly joins him too.
And Gary.
And then he recreates the intro for the show. But it's like the Joe Amato version of it.
God!
So it's really hoboed out and broken. I'm just like, well, what was the point of that joke, really? Like, yeah, he's got his new team, but why do we got to rehash the intro, but just do it in a shittier way? I'm like, okay. So that was kind of another thing, not as severe, but the dancing thing, Gary the Dragonfly, and then of course at one point, because Skeletor has taken over the palace. And he's got everybody under mind control, including Randor. It's his birthday. Yeah, and it's his birthday. And he ends up vanishing. At the same time, Duncan's working on something, and he vanishes. They end up in the same place.
Oh, well, let him know the context of that. There was a stone. First, he was wanting good gifts for his birthday, wasn't getting any, and He wanted a battle cat, and I think they eventually presented him. I think it might have been Trapjaw with a Pain Thor motorcycle, bike, something, whatever. And and then Beast Man, I think, shows up and says, "I got something for you." And it was just a rock. You know, he was like, "Well, what the fuck's a rock?" Yeah. But it was supposed to be some wishing rock that Eva Lynn had, and you can make one wish with it, but you can't say it out loud, otherwise it don't come true. Because remember, it's your birthday, so I get the inside gag there. But if he thinks about it, it'll happen. So he's just holding, boom, like you said, he disappears, and then I think he's with Duncan inside of Grayskull or some shit, or Windrake.
And then Skeletor makes it a thing to kind of drop hints to him as like, "Hey, it's my birthday." And then Duncan's like, what's a birthday? And then Skeletor's like, "What, you never had a birthday?" And he's like, "I'm an orphan, man." I was like, oh, geez, okay. But he ends up making Skeletor a cake, and then there's another montage of where they're just sitting beside each other looking at constellations that show them in the sky, and then show Skeletor punching him, and I'm just like, but
celebrating their birthday together.
Yeah, because Duncan's like, "I've never had a birthday. Maybe today is my birthday too," and I'm just like.
And he learned about that, in a book? He read a book or something, then he forgot, what a birthday is, and they're celebrating. It's like...
That was the main issue I kind of had with Season 2, is I thought the story that they had itself that they were building up to obtaining the sigil pieces, I thought that was fine, but we're taking breaks. We're taking breaks in decent action to do something like that that just completely yanks me out of it. And I know... We'll stress again, this is for the kids. The kids will probably laugh and think that's funny and eat it up. But for me, it just took me, I'm like, was that really necessary? It just kind of played too dumb. Though,
even as a kid, because again, I always explain about the original Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, Transformers, G.I. Joe, all that stuff. Those were for kids, but they didn't treat us like moronic little kids, like little morons.
But they had their dumb moments too.
No, they had their moments, but I meant this was a ton of silliness. I was like, why? And the other thing is, our cartoons starred adults. All these new cartoons look like they always want to have the kids be the main people. It's like, why do you always want the kids to relate with kids? It's like, you know what? Yeah, I have my friends in real life, but when I want to watch a cartoon, I don't want to think about my buddy Timmy, who's 8 years old, fighting with me. I want to see fucking heroes, not just kids just... I don't know. But again, you're right. It is for kids, but I'm still giving my fucking opinion. And I don't care if it gets the comment section eventually when this episode's over. You're an asshole. This wasn't made for you, fuckhead.
Yeah. Like, guys, don't be mad about it. We're not even mad about it. We're just telling you
things. They can like it, they can love it. But remember, if they love it, I just said the same thing. I didn't flip over it, but it is for kids. It did have action. I can understand. At least they could give it to kids. But if an adult jumps in and says, "I loved it," I'm going to give it right back and say, it doesn't matter. It wasn't made for you. It's made for the kids. So whether you love it or hate it, it don't matter. But, it's just our opinion.
It's cool that you enjoyed it and didn't have any issue with the dancing scene or Gary the Dragonfly or Skeletor's birthday or any of that shit. But I'm trying to think of kind of where to go from there, because I mean it stayed basically to that. We're introducing new characters. Everybody's getting involved to try to obtain these sigil pieces. Evil Lynn gets kicked out because Skeletor, you failed me, so she goes on her own to try to obtain a piece. We also have what was kind of just like an underlying arc throughout the whole thing is Ram Mam, and Crass, kind of having these issues back and forth of, hey, I thought once we did this, we were going back home. Once we were doing this, and then the jealousy starts to take over of Randor's promoting everybody but her. And it all builds to the final episode, and I apologize that we're just kind of bouncing all over the place and it doesn't really make much sense, but whatever.
Well, like I said, they can still watch it. We're just,
Yeah, we're just giving you like the little highlights of it. But the last episode, Crass turns heel.
And that was a misunderstanding. She didn't stay there to see the whole thing of what Adam said. Adam was like, didn't want her promoted to something, and she heard that and got pissed and left. And then you find out he says, because I want her next to me side by side. But what the whole season, this whole season, at least these episodes, these 8 episodes, was wondering what's going on with Crass, because they kept saying, why can't you unlock your superpower like the rest of us? Something was weird. She couldn't get that glow. And then she had this, piece, that thing that's always been in her helmet. And we're starting to find out eventually more on that. But she was wondering, where's my nemesis? Like, they looked at this big painting. Everybody had a nemesis. Yeah, but she didn't have one. She didn't understand that. And then when Skeletor, when all that havoc is sucked back into the staff and taken away.
Well, his staff gets broken, so that means that the havoc power that he had, like Trapjaw and Beastman, go back to what they were, and then he switches back to Keldor. But he kind of, he gets sucked back into the staff, like pre-havoc staff.
Pre-havoc staff, yeah. So he got sucked into that, and it was into that, domed crystal fucking spear thing that was blocking it. But then suddenly Crass started hearing something from Skeletor, because right there in the center of her helmet, that's part of the Ram Stone, which, I believe in the MYP cartoon, we find out with the Ram Stone and creating the Havoc staff, shit with the Faceless One, blah, blah, whatever. So it's like there's a connection. Now he's in her head.
Yeah.
And,
which I thought was okay. I actually liked that.
Yeah, and once I seen that part, I was thinking, okay, I was almost getting a connection with Revelation, like, okay, how he seeped into Evelyn's staff or whatever. But either way, it was different because he's doing mind games. He's fucking with her head. And it eventually worked, and she becomes Rampage at the end. She becomes, one of the evil warriors.
What does she call it? Yeah, the fifth nemesis is what she calls herself.
Yeah, fifth nemesis. So, I mean, with that storyline with her, I was like, we got it. Like I said, that was interesting.
That was,
I think I wish they, honestly, for this cartoon, I just wish they would have cut all the humor out. If they could have cut, moments, yes, you can have moments.
But not over the top shit, like they're dancing together. Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of the dancing, get rid of the fucking birthday, get rid of the extra stupid, silly shit, and you had something going there. Again, I didn't ever have a Masters of the Universe feel. I just had that's a kid's, show.
Cool little action show. Yeah.
Yeah, cool action. Lots of fucking, like I said again, fights and battles and transformations and teams up with powers, like in a video game. We're going to combine this with this to create this. It definitely had that video game feel. So, like I said, I can't be mad because I can't shit on it, like I did with Revelation, because I was expecting more. This, they at least had something going, and that story with Crass was interesting.
And it seems to me that they're gonna have a season 3. I feel like
there'll be 8 more. Yeah, I think they have 8 more episodes, and then I think it's all up to how the toys sold and how it's been viewed. Now that's the thing. Remember, the target audience is kids, but are they buying the toys? Are they saying, Mom, Dad, go do it? Are they watching it on Netflix? Is this going to trend? If it doesn't trend, then that cartoon, after the 8 episodes, that's gone. The toys are already collecting dust. Unfortunately, at the stores I see, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But overall, not bad. I wasn't bored while I was watching it. I didn't get angry while I was watching it. Like you said, you cut out some of that just really stupid shit. You got something going there. Yeah.
And I'm sure Grimbot's going to message me, Joe, you weren't fucking angry enough, goddammit.
He's probably already had an aneurysm. He's on his way. He's on the hospital already.
They're kind of being nice to this. But it's like I said, I'm indifferent because I didn't have no expectations.
Yeah.
So
I've definitely seen a lot worse shit. The Netflix She-Ra show was way worse than this.
Sweet Jesus. Revelations was
way worse than this. I mean, there's other cartoons I've watched aimed towards kids that suck too.
They also had a Back to the Future moment. Remember when He-Man was, knocked off and you thought he fell off the edge, and then he's standing on top of what I think was the Wind Raider thing when it rose up? I was waiting to hear, Marty! Jack, we gotta go back to 1955! But, so yeah, they had some movie references. You could obviously tell there was a lot of movie references, but...
Yeah, I mean, once again, good on them that they went a different direction with it. They're trying something new. It's up to everyone else or toy sales or whatever if it's something that they think would stick. Now, what I'm curious about is if any of that would start to bleed over into any other future iterations or whatever. I doubt that it would.
I hope not. I mean, I'm hoping there's the day that they just can go back to having that great mix of, sword and sorcery and magic and a good feel to it, to where it's not just one extreme or the other. But this one is highly, highly tech, and it just, I know that's the thing for the kids. Yeah, so they're trying it. That's what kids are into. They're giving it a shot, and if they don't bite, they'll be like, fuck it, and they might try something else, or they might say, you know what, fuck Masters of the Universe for 20 years. You never know. They're like, nobody likes nothing. It's like, oh, there's stuff that they like, but I would just say bring back the faith, or at least have faith in the kids, and tell them a good story, and just don't dumb it down for them that much. Little humor, but we weren't subject to that shit in our cartoons. Not that much. There was moments, but not
just
that much.
Get rid of your Garys and your dancing.
That was yeah. Poor Bobcat, haven't had him in anything except the Police Academy movies, and then he was in an episode of Married with Children. It's like, I still like that guy. And
he kind of moved into directing more.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I was wondering where he's been.
He's let me look him up real quick because he's done a couple things.
Yeah, his voice is it's unmistakable. Right when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's got to be Bobcat. So I waited to the end of the episode just to look at credits. I was like, yep, there he is. That's him.
Is.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me go to his directing stuff. It's mostly been in the late 2000s. Sleeping Dogs Lie, I don't know what that is. God Bless America is one that I've seen a trailer for a lot. Willow Creek, Call Me Lucky. It's shit that I've never even seen.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any of this stuff or seen. I don't think I've seen or heard of any of this stuff.
He does a lot of TV directing too for shows like Community, the Patton Oswalt stuff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so he's around. I mean, he's keeping busy. He's doing things.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I had no clue. I mean, I had no clue what he's been doing now, but so I don't know. I mean, how you really want to wrap that up? I mean, we can eventually get to the chat. I don't know what they've been saying, or you can get to questions from them, but this wasn't meant to be a giant long episode. It was
yeah. We weren't going to sit here for 2 hours and talk about this thing because
I'm not going to sit here and talk about. Right, not 2 hours, or hey, this week we're going to talk about episode 1. Next month we'll talk about episode 2. It's like, fuck that. You're getting it all right in one shot.
8 months worth of content right there, Joe. Think about that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Christ. Thank God there's stuff from the past that we've been talking about for years.
We don't need to talk about old things, Joe. It's all about the new stuff.
Jesus Christ. And that's the thing that we've done since the beginning. Since this podcast started, we talked about stuff from the past, present, what we'd like to see in the future, stuff from the Lady Bird books, the UK magazines, the Golden books, everything. We've always done that. It's nothing new for us. That's what we've always done and pride ourselves.
Was there anything else that we should bring up about season 2 that maybe we missed at all off the top of your head? We covered all the new characters.
All the new characters.
Triclops not really being Triclops.
Cover the pieces to bring King Hiss back, which the Snake Men do come back at the end.
Yeah, very briefly, and then it's like.
And I knew Eldris. Oh, that was the other thing. Is remember once that wishing stone was thrown through a portal, and you seen somebody grab it at the end of an episode. I was like, I guarantee you that's Eldris, and she's probably gonna wish herself back. Yeah. And at the end of episode 1, boom, you see she's back. Then you see these big fucking things come. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, they're with her, right? I'm assuming.
I don't know. I think they might be some enemy shit. And then it goes off. The thing is, I'd like to guess, but I was like, their designs are so far removed from what we know. It's like, I'm not quite sure anymore. I don't know what to say. Like when I seen Gary, when I first seen him, I was like, is that supposed to be the fucking Fright Fighter? But I was like,
someone in the chat was asking the same thing. I don't know.
Oh, no shit. See, isn't that weird? So it's like I don't know what to say. It's like
nobody
looks like the only person that really looks like who they should is Skeletor and Orko. Even He-Man don't look like He-Man. Man-at-Arms looks like Samus from Metroid. Mm-hmm. Nobody looks like anybody we know. So
Stratos looks like Marvel's Falcon.
Yeah,
the MCU version of Falcon.
Yeah, MCU version of Falcon. So I was like, basically, the only one I can recognize would be Skeletor and Orko, and that's it.
Yeah.
And Castle Grayskull, just because we know, but holy hell, what a horrible design. God, did you see the play set for that shit?
I did, it might actually.
I thought somebody said it could be $140. Like,
honest, there's no fucking way it's that much.
I hope it's just a joke, because it's going to have a lot of electronics to make sound, shit opens and moves. But here's the thing. Well, I wonder, while you're checking for that, think of the 2000X Castle Grayskull and the MYP cartoon Castle Grayskull, which we hated that as well. Who proudly loves to display that 2000X Castle Grayskull? Just think about it. I have it, but mine's right down here, Nathan. It just sits. You can never see it. I don't even want to display that Castle Grayskull. So can anybody? I'm being honest right now, especially with the chat. If Nathan puts that shit up there on the screen, because I don't know if you guys have seen it before.
I'm trying to find it. All right. Well, maybe it'll let me
But the
save
point
that.
I'm gonna get to, once you show it, is would anybody want to buy that and probably say, look at my new Castle Grayskull. It looks like one of those play school sets. That is very kiddie. If you thought the 2000X Castle Grayskull looked like shit, which it is, and it had sound effects, remember you put your foot on it, it does stuff, and all that bullshit. But this one, it's atrocious. I was like, and it looks so big. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to put that. Yeah, I
Got it
have
up on the
what
screen
chat
now.
says.
Yeah, let me go ahead and make this take up the screen for everybody.
And you let me know what they say, because if they want to buy it and do it. But if I'm not displaying 2000X ones with pride, how can I display that shit?
It does look like paint app wise and everything. It just looks pretty cheap. Now, if they would have put a little more detail with the paint, it could have had a little more potential. Just a little more. I'm not saying it would have been amazing or anything, but I'm saying if you put more detail into it, it just looks really, really, really plain.
It does. It looks just bland, cheap, play school like. Like I would never want to display that in my collection. People can get the figures. I know that some people would say, "Hey, cool, I kind of like the He-Man Skeletor." If you do, cool.
I like the He-Man design of the figure, and I thought about maybe even getting the Manny faces because I liked how he looked.
Yeah. And I've heard that from other people, like Manny Faces. I've seen they're like, oh, that one could be interesting. But, I just have to know if the chat's doing backflip thing. I want that fucking
Well, you know what, you lazy bastard. If you would have gotten your laptop, you would have been able to see it.
Well, that's why I have you. Oh, that made you sound like an item. I'm sorry.
Oh, great. That's all I am to you, Joe? A chat reader?
Yeah, read the chat, you piece of shit. Like, okay, thanks, Joe. I'll read it.
Ryan, I wonder what sound effect it makes when you football kick it. I am kind of curious, like, what noise, if it does make a lot of sounds, or if it's just strictly, like, a couple things, or that's it, but, I'm not going to get that at all, but no. I may get the Manny Faces figure. Maybe. We'll see.
Imagine if that really was 140. I hope it's.
I really don't think
they wouldn't sell any. Who would want to pay? I mean, who would pay 60 for that?
Joe, come on. There are people out there that are gonna whatever it is.
Of course, what am I saying?
It's new. It's a new toy. You gotta buy it. Gotta have it all. Plastic crack.
That's right. This is the best Castle Grayskull ever. I mean, when you look at this compared to the others, think of the logic, Nathan. The Origins Castle Grayskull is nothing but a vintage one, just, slightly changed. And I already have a Classics one. So, and even the 2000X is like that. But this one is completely different. So that's why I like it. It's like, it's completely different. It looks like shit. I'm not putting it in my collection.
I'm not gonna buy it. I would like to get a Classics, but. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you're rich. You can get anything you want.
No, I'm not that rich. I'm not going to drop $1,000 on a Classics Grayskull.
Is that what they're running? Oh, my God. I didn't know they're...
Yeah. Now, if I ever went to a convention or maybe even like a flea market and someone had one and they were selling it for like... Because initially it was, what, $400 when it came out?
I thought it was $399. I'm trying to think of the payment plan or the shit.
I want to say it was $400. Tyler got one. Or if you guys in the chat have one.
I even got one back then because I was able to have money back in the day. But when Snake Mountain came, I couldn't do that. Oh, did I want Snake Mountain? But holy shit, was that expensive? Yeah. And I know now it's even more expensive.
I had the money to get the Snake Mountain, and I should have. But whatever. I should have, but at the same time,
it was a big fucking play set too. All right, well, I guess that's that part. You can go to the chat, see what they're saying, if there's any questions or comments or whatever.
Go ahead and drop some questions in there for us, and we'll answer a few of those, and then we'll bounce house.
Okay.
Aiden Cross says, the way they've handled Manny Faces is interesting. Other than that, the show is pitifully boring. I wouldn't say it was boring at all, because I wasn't bored while I watched it. I kept a good, steady pace, action. I was all right with it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I guess boring for us as Masters fans of what we wanted, but for
in
kids,
that
if they
regard,
wanted, I mean, I see what he's saying. Yeah. But for kids, I mean, you're getting lots of crazy shit and fighting and explosions, and that's, I guess. But I didn't feel like I was that kid back in the day. The explosions and fighting was cool, but I did like a good story as well, and I didn't always have to be, talked down to when I was watching shit. But it's a different generation, I guess.
Yeah. Many
We'll have to
phases.
get Aiden on sometimes though, because Aiden, he's the one that knows all the stuff of the UK magazines, Masters of the Universe. He's got his own page on Facebook about it too. Yeah, Aiden knows his shit when it comes to a lot of Masters. We'll have to get you on, Aiden, especially if we have the new time. This is the first time I think he's been on in the chat in a long time. So, well, of course, this is real early, but we'll have to see if he can make it 8 o'clock sometime. We'll get him on in the future.
Yeah, we'll have to.
And then you can shit on anything you want. Oh, God, Aiden, fuck it.
That's a decent Vince. You're getting good at the Vince impression.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Someone's saying classics Grayskull runs for about $1,300. I saw one that was like $900 with. I think it was
it complete?
Yeah, it was complete.
Free shipping?
No, I want to say it was $50 maybe.
You have to keep your eyes out. See if maybe there's another good deal sometime. Take advantage of it before that thing goes real expensive. I mean, hell, it's all way out of my price.
I mean, at that rate, as big as it is, and I'm like out of room in here. Like,
no, I can understand.
Yeah, I'm just like out of room.
What's that black thing to your left, my right? Is that a shelf or
my computer?
Oh, it looked like it was in the distance. I was like, man, it's a big shelf. Put it right on top of that. Oh, it's your computer right next to it.
Yeah, that wouldn't fit on there. Aiden Cross goes on to say, I find the action boring, and the lack of character depth means I find myself not caring about the characters or what happens to them. I see what you mean. I think for me, it was, I just turned my brain off and just watched it. I wasn't, because the expectations, I didn't really have anything. I'm just like, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to watch this, and I wasn't bored in that regard. Pride of Grayskull asks, what would you both like to see from Season 3 if it's made?
Well, I mean, we know the Snake Men are coming.
Yeah.
Of course, I think, it will be made. What would I like? I'd like the shit dumbed, not so dumbed down, but it's not going to happen. So I can't say what I'd really want because I know what I want is not going to happen. And everybody's going to look really different. I'm sure King Hiss is going to look drastically weird and moronic too.
Probably.
I can't even imagine what they'll do. But I would just like the dumb shit out of it. I will say one thing to Aiden. The only person that had like some kind of character depth or interesting was Crass. Crass was the only one that really had a really interesting story.
Yeah,
was her.
and I think overall too, the voice work was very solid.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't cringy hearing them talk or anything. No, I mean, I think the voices were fine. It's weird. I don't think we ever really talked about that. I didn't have a problem with any of the voices.
No.
I think they were good.
The Skeletor voice in this show is way better than Mark Hamill just doing Joker again.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I felt like I was hearing Skeletor and not Joker. Yeah, good point. I like that. I'm glad that came up about the voices.
Well, it got me thinking about just when it went to the Crass stuff and like how she was struggling with everything and the motion that she did. I was like, you know what, that's a solid performance. And I also thought about Manny Faces and how he's switching to different things, and I liked how those voices sounded. So.
Yeah. And what you said too, voices. It wasn't like people just talking in their normal.
Yeah, you're not like that's Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, other than Bobcat, just because he's very distinctive. But
oh yeah,
but it's not.
But yeah, like Sarah. Yeah, you knew that was Sarah Michelle and the other cartoon. And it's like when everybody talked, it's like sounds like you guys are just talking but not using voices. This cartoon is doing voices.
That's Alicia. That's Alicia Silverstone. It sounds just like her. Yeah, she just walked out of the set of Clueless, and here she is on He-Man. Yeah, so solid with the voice work. Really, the only complaints, the only thing I have against it is just that really stupid shit that they did.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a stupid thing, and then there's a stupid... And it's like, I don't give a shit about birthdays or dancing and robots falling in love with Skeletor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, just cut that out, and it would have been, for what it is, really good. Solid. You hear that, everybody on the internet?
No, they only heard the bad stuff.
Yeah, they only heard the bad stuff.
They just zone into, wait, they said something negative. Fuck Joe.
Yeah.
These guys don't like Masters of the Universe, even though he's got all this fucking shit in back of him. And they've been doing this podcast for 6 years, and for all the time Joe's been on.
Wait, Joe, where's that Orko that I got you? You're supposed to keep that on the shelf.
Oh, well, I think that is in back of me.
Move your head. No, move your head the other way.
Oh, I got to move you because I don't want anybody seeing me. Let me just look.
Oh, I see it now. It's over there.
Oh, he is there.
Yeah, to your right.
See?
I couldn't see it on the screen. I apologize.
Totally.
You said that was the best Orko figure of them all. I just want to make sure you have it on the shelf.
Well, it's not, but I mean, it's a good Orko. I sounded I hated that when you got me that. I swear I wasn't trying to sound ungrateful. You made it sound like it was like, oh, great, yeah, thanks. Okay, what are we doing now? No, I did enjoy it. I really appreciated that Orko. I said thank you. I thought I sounded grateful.
Aiden Cross, are you the guy with the awesome Master Universe UK magazine website? Yep, that's me. So are scans of the magazine on this website?
I don't think Aiden. I'm gonna have to wait for him to pop in the chat. I don't think he has scans of all of them up there. I think
Aiden, if you do have scans that aren't on your website or whatever, or if anybody out there knows a place where we can get scans of the magazines and stuff again, since He-Man.org, all that's just lost, please hit Joe up so Joe can send them to me, and Joe and I can start doing the magazine flip throughs and stuff like that again, because I miss doing those.
Because those are great stories, and Aiden, like I said, he's interviewed people that worked on those goddamn magazines, and people that did, I believe, the writing and the art, everything. He's talked with these people. He knows more about that than anybody I think I know who's into the UK magazine stuff. And they had great stories, and unfortunately, they were loaded. You'd get, at least, if I'm not mistaken, 3 stories for each issue. That was a ton of issues. Damn, I wish we would have got that stuff here in the United States.
Yeah, we need to get all those images, because I want to do more magazine flip throughs with you, because that's kind of our thing, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, I think Tyler seen when we talked about one of the Ladybird ones where he's like, "Oh, this is fucking horrendous," but I don't think he was completely against UK stuff, because it's expanded onto the stories we already had, or giving origins to the characters that we didn't see before, or taking stuff from some of those profiles and things that you get on the Wonder Bread cards that were also part of, like, I don't want to say a series Bible. There's a certain term to where a certain guide, character guide or compendium or some shit, to where they took that and then they made more stories upon it. Like, we heard about Snout Spout, and he was like a creation from Hordak, but we didn't get that in the mini comic. We seen it in the United States, the Wonder Bread card, but bam, in the UK, they told the story about that. We were getting more origins, and for Rio Blast, lots of good shit from the UK.
And we'll have to figure something out. Aiden Cross went on to say, I included scanned images, but not full scans of the entire magazine. So if you want to hook us up, if you have access to that, then like I said, get in touch with Joe if you got that shit. We'll work something out. Simple Tricks and Nonsense was asking if this show, would it stand up on its own if you stripped away the name? I think so. I think it would benefit more if you took away all of that, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was trying to explain. It's a show that is for kids, has action. It's for hardcore Masters fans. There'll be some that just eat it up no matter what. They want everything, and they want more toys, so give us more fucking cartoons. But most fans are like, yeah, this don't feel like He-Man. Just like New Adventures. Did people get pissed at us back in the day when we were kids and were like, what the fuck is this New Adventures? No. Most people didn't fucking like it. And most people don't like this. But as for a story, yeah, it holds up. It's fine on its own. It's giving kids action, but are kids biting? That's what we got to find out, and I don't know if they are. I know somebody's going to say, well, my son has all the toys, and he loves them, and I'm sure your son said, hey, Dad, Mom, buy those for me. You didn't buy it for them in no way at all, huh? And you didn't tell them to watch this cartoon and love it, huh? But, well, whatever. But I'm sure there's some kids that might have gravitated, but I don't want to hear that bullshit. My son loves it. Yeah, I bet. All by himself. We found Masters of the Universe by ourselves as kids. The fucking cartoon and the toys. We didn't have anybody tell us to watch this cartoon or collect
Well, no, I'm sure there was probably like a good word of mouth amongst children. Hey, you should check this out.
Well, that's what I mean. Kids, though. Kids with kids. We found that shit ourselves. We didn't have the adults, saying, hey, son, there's a good fucking cartoon here I want you to watch and collect these toys.
See?
Yeah, see? Oh, God, that's showing like I am 100 years old.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are, so... There we go. Rage DeBrickashaw. Who is Negative He-Man?
What's that?
I maybe in
Does
reference...
he mean Anti-Eternian?
Whoa, why did that switch? I hope that's not going to be a thing where it wants to keep bouncing back and forth between it. I think that's maybe what...
Oh, well, if you mean Negative He-Man... Oh, yeah, if that's who he's alluding to, Negative He-Man or Anti-Attorney He-Man came from the German audio plays. And there was Rex. I'm trying to think of the customizer who did the first painted vintage He-Man as Anti-Attorney He-Man, because you only heard the description of him in the audio play. There was never any art that existed back then. So he did that, and then fans caught on, because a lot of fans didn't know. They were like, oh, I'm assuming this is just what his color display is for everything. We had parts that were described, but a lot of people didn't know it. And then they went on, they got us a Classics version, and then we're getting Origins version, but yeah, that's it. Just came from a German audio play. Only a description of what he looked like, but never a picture.
Oh, there we go. Joe, do you got any, this is just for me, got any thrifty tips? You got any food secrets?
God, I'm trying to think if there was anything thrifty or anything that happened as of late, because I haven't been... Oh, that's what pissed me off. Well, this one, like I said, it's what my sister told me, and I hope it's not true. She said that McDonald's now apparently might start charging for the barbecue sauces with your nuggets. Now, I know for extra they used to, but usually if you just got an order of nuggets, a 4-piece, they give you one barbecue sauce. She made it sound like they're going to start charging. I was like, are you kidding me? Another quarter? She even said that they're charging 40 cents extra for tartar sauce now, and it used to be a quarter. What the hell is this increase? 40 cents for tartar sauce? My God, you could... Oh, never mind. 64 cents, you get a sandwich.
I don't even think about that. I sent you a picture of the Wendy's meal and like 2 Domino's pizza with cheese bread that we're gonna eat later. Just all on a pile.
Oh, I know. I seen that and I tried to ignore it. I was like, this is great. You just joined the many people like John Idis and all these other fucknuts and Kay who are like, look at this stuff that I'm eating tonight. Let me show you a video. And they got all this goddamn stuff.
Oh, is that what they do? They torture you with what they're gonna eat so it makes you really hungry? Man, what bastards.
They are the fuckheads, but I actually told them, I was like, I kind of enjoy it because it almost makes me feel full even though I'm not eating it. I kind of trick my brain into thinking, I ate that steak. I had all that shrimp and shit because they make so much good fucking food. And I sent a picture of them. I think that one time with just my noodles. Like, there you go. What do you think of that? Here's my grand fucking supper. Dicks.
Johnny Cock. Joe, have you eaten ramen from a Japanese restaurant? Like actual, real, proper ramen?
Johnny, do you think I have? Do you think I've gone to a Japanese restaurant and paid fucking, what, $12, $20 for noodles when I can get them for 30 cents at Dollar Tree in a pack of 4? So you get 4-pack for $1 or some shit? That's like 25 cents a pack for noodles. I think Johnny knew that answer.
I need to try the shrimp ones. I know you said you don't like them at all, but I do want to try them.
I like the seasoning. Yeah, I just take the seasoning, throw it to the side, and put some hot sauce in there. And that's
that's what I was thinking. If I didn't, I'm only going to use a little bit and see if I like it. And if I don't, then I'll probably just put like soy sauce on it or something.
But like we've said for the cartoon, if you like it, great. But boy, does that fucking shrimp packet taste like shit. Ugh.
Yeah, so there's no semblance of shrimp taste at all.
It's just you get a nasty, backy, fishy. At least for me, I was like, "Ooh, this is fucking nasty." But again, you might like it. See?
Well, I mean, so far the chicken one is the only flavor I like, because the beef one I don't enjoy either.
I get the chicken and I put a little sometimes. Otherwise, I just throw all the seasoning packets away and just do my hot sauce. But if I was to do a seasoning, I just do the chicken because I don't care for the beef. It just tastes like super salty shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. Daniel Carhoonan, when is Joe going to make a PSA video to explain why chocolate is food?
But it is. You're eating it and you're swallowing it, and it gives you sugar and energy.
Oh, damn.
And it's what?
No, there was just one thing I wanted to do that I totally fucking forgot about. Shit. All right. There's still time. I'll do it now.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I'll get this set up. Fedmon asked Nathan, who is the red figure next to you? That would be...
Flash?
No. Human Torch.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's the Marvel Select. I thought about, because on the base there's a little bit of an opening, you can get like some of those...
lights?
Yeah, some of those lights and just kind of put it on and like click a little light on, put it underneath them or something. Well, but also what I have right here is I also have the Super 7 TMNT Ultimates. I have Casey Jones, Raph, Mikey, and Don waiting on Leonardo to come in stock. And then, And then right here beside me, I got this.
I really hate you with that. I really hate you with that fucking Scaregirl, you dickbag. Almost nobody got it, and you were able to get that son of a bitch. He looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, he looks really great, man. I love it.
Yeah, I bet.
There's candy, which according to Joe is food, but also according to Joe, there's all food.
Well, there's food, but really, I mean, picture if you're starving. If you have candy, it helps you stay alive.
Yeah.
Chocolate is food. I mean, it's what?
food.
You got milk, you got sugar, you got cocoa in it. That's food.
Food.
I've had that for lunch before. Just had some Hershey bars. That's a good breakfast. Breakfast of champions. You know, when you need to get wired or you're already wired and it makes it worse. There's nothing wrong with fucking chocolate. Hershey's fantastic. If you don't like it, who was it? Was that Fedmon or Daniel Carhoonen who made that comment about that?
That was Daniel Carhoonen.
Daniel, if you don't like any chocolate and you have extra, and I'm just talking about Hershey, just send it to me. I'll take it. And then not that. And the thing is, you think that I would have like no standards when it comes to chocolate, but I hate when there's those off brands that just taste really horrible and it tastes real backy. You get a backy taste. You get a lot of that at them dollar stores. These fucking knockoff brands. Flossness chocolate. Like, what the fuck is that? I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, go on.
Johnny Cock. Nathan, are you getting the NECA gargoyles? I might, because they are really well-made figures and look awesome. So
she will. Everything.
Yeah, but I'm running out of space. Actually, back here, what I'm gonna do on this shelf right here is I have Mandalorian stuff, but I'm kind of like. I have just this weird thing with Star Wars where I'm into it and then I kind of fall out of it again. So I think I'm going to pack those guys up because I have American Werewolf and London figures from NECA. I bought 4 of the Nightmare Demons and then I have the Kessler Wolf and I'm going to put those on that shelf because that's a great fucking movie. But one thing I did want to do is, Joe, did you know that we got another sponsor?
We do?
Yeah, we obtained another sponsor. That's not only sponsoring this week's episode of Fans Power, but it's also going to be the sponsor for And Now for Something Different that we're going to do tomorrow at 8 p.m. So we will go ahead and kick that over to them right now. When the opportunity comes to turn up the heat, will you be ready? You can be with Pedro's Pocket Sauce. It's too hot to keep in your pants.
That's right. That's really good. I like that. Yeah, no, I won't get into it. But I do have, I always have my hot sauce in my pants, and you're right. Got to get it out of there.
Just want to leave that up for just a little bit longer because it's such a great sponsor to have on the show this week and for our show tomorrow. So thank you, Pedro's Pocket Sauce.
Well, we appreciate every one of our sponsors. That's how we keep this podcast going.
Yeah,
because
that's how Joe eats. That's how Joe eats every week.
That's how I eat, and that's how we do the podcast. I mean, if we weren't getting money from doing this podcast, how the fuck would we be able to record and talk? I don't understand. How are we doing? We couldn't do this show if it wasn't for fucking money. Son of a bitch. Yeah. So, is Simple Trick still here? I don't know if he is or if they are, but no, I'm gonna say he is, and the reason I'm saying is. John, if you're here, why don't you come on the fucking show tomorrow? I mean, I know you've seen Fire and Ice. It'd be great. Get your ass on the show. Quit fucking hiding behind the cameras or in the other room and send us messages.
He's got to sleep, man.
Well, he can get it. It's early, so he's going to get his ass. No.
It's only an hour earlier.
Wait a second. Not only that, but no, his ass is always messaging during your fucking podcast, so he's awake.
Yeah, because he's trying to sleep.
He's like, hey, Newt, keep it down in there. Jesus Christ, you guys are making so much fucking noise.
Why are you laughing so hard? They ain't that fucking funny.
I'd like to hear his opinion on this movie, too. It's a great fucking movie, Fire and Ice. And again, if you guys haven't seen it, watch it. It's free on YouTube. Amazing.
YouTube, Tubi, and Vudu. It's all free on all those platforms. So go and watch that movie and join us tomorrow night for that conversation. Let's leave it to one. Joe, how are you not in a diabetic coma? Because last week he said that he does 100 push-ups and set-ups and Kegels.
Squat. Kegels. Yeah, we got to keep my no, so and 100 squats. But yeah, I have to do that.
Now, when you're doing your squats, are you when you're coming up, are you moving your hands up like this? You're like, whew, whew, Are you one of those guys?
No, you know what got me doing the push-ups?
Are you watching 80s aerobic tapes while you're doing this? Because I feel like that's what you would be doing.
I gotta put on that shit. That'd be and I like putting on
Jane
some Tybo
Fonda.
with Billy. Yeah, I like Tybo with Billy Blanks. You got to put on all that type of. You got to put all that stuff on. No, I think it was years ago. The reason I got to.
I'm just thinking about next week's sponsor now, John. You kind of get the hit for what we're talking about there. Make something happen. Don't care what it is.
Oh shit! No, but I think I got into doing my 80 to 100 push-ups every day, and I try to do them all in one succession if I can. If not, I might take a break for a minute and finish them up. But it all started with that "Bring Sally Up, Bring Sally Down"
yeah.
2 years ago, and I was getting good at it. And my endurance, since you have to hold for so long, it made me do regular push-ups easier. But holy shit, if you guys have never done that and you want to stress your body to hell, do that challenge. That is, you have to last 3 minutes. That ain't fucking easy. That's what she said. But really, you see if you can last 3 minutes.
You hear that, everybody? Joe, you hear that, ladies? Joe can give you a good 3 minutes. That's all.
3 minutes, and then done after that. Christ. But yeah, that's what got me into doing the push-ups, and that's why regular push-ups are so much easier now, is because of that damn challenge.
I started doing, I wouldn't really call this, they're exercises, but I'm not really working out. Well, I guess I am to a degree. So I've been having issues for the last 12, 13 years with what I thought.
Erectile dysfunction?
No, my dick works just fine, Joe. But I was having issues with my lower back to what I thought was maybe pinching a sciatic nerve. But it turns out that what had happened is years ago I was kind of dumb and fell really hard on my right side on my hip. And
was that when you were doing that backyard wrestling?
No. This was a little after that. I was just doing dumb shit back then, and it turns out that my hips were misaligned. And what they said was it was a good almost 2 inches. So my hips were sitting like this for the last 12, 13 years. So they did this thing where the physical therapist, she took her fist like this, had me lay on my back with my knees propped up and feet flat. She put her fist like this right in between both my knees and had me squeeze my legs in. And there was just a massive pop. So everything slid back into place. Yeah.
After 13 years and it fixed it like that? Really?
Well, it's not entirely fixed because it wants to slide a little bit, not as severe as it was. But I have exercises now that I have to do 3 times a week to kind of build that muscle around it back up where it's been out and out of whack for so long.
That must have been a good feeling when she did that, when that popped. That.
It was just it felt like a rush of blood to my leg, and everything kind of got tingly. It was probably better than an orgasm, I would say.
I know. I mean, that had to be really intense if you for 13 years had it and she just popped it. That must have been weird as shit.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is it's been kind of weird the past couple days just because where it was.
Oh, was that recent? She just did it?
This was last Wednesday.
No shit.
Yeah. And it started to slide a little bit, so I keep getting readjusted when it feels strange. So, I just wanted to get back to normal because I've always noticed I was like, oh, I always felt like
explains why you sat in the chair like this. You were always like this doing that. You're hey, welcome to the power.
No, I mean, I wasn't sitting like that all the time. Are you kidding me?
Just a little bit.
That just kind of makes it, you know what? We could just take out, someone edit that, probably Grim. Edit that with Joe just doing like that and just put a fart noise in there.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah. Right. So here's hoping that I can get all that back to normal because last week after that happened, it just felt nice the way, and just walking, it didn't feel odd like it has for 13 years.
That's cool. See if she can pop your neck, though. Maybe she can knock some common sense back in that fucking pea brain of yours. But go ahead. What were you saying?
I was going to say that I'm hoping that we just get there and it sticks because it just felt nice to not feel off anymore or to actually feel like I could maybe go run again because I used to love running and I couldn't really do that because it would just feel awkward.
If you build up, like you said, the muscle and have it equally, then hopefully it will
Yeah.
get better. I'm sure. I mean, it already sounds like it's lined up better. So just strengthen some bit.
It has. I'm just paranoid about it, like slipping back severely the way that it was. But I should have gotten it checked out sooner. But you know how it is when you don't really have good insurance. You don't want to go to the doctor. Everything.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't even relate
what's
at all.
insurance? I just show up and just whip it out anyway. Does this look normal to you?
Oh,
sir, this is a Wendy's.
Anything final in the chat before we wrap it up? Or?
Let's see. Let's go on with another question from Rage. Do you guys think they will do a Snake Mountain, Eternia, or Fright Zone in Origins, or the Netflix CGI, or Grayskull, or others for Revelations? My hope is that they would do
for Origins do something. I would love to see Eternia or Snake Mountain. It would be nice, and a Fright Zone.
Yeah,
but in no, I don't see it happening for the CGI because I'm just being honest. It's collecting dust. You got to think of Mattel and think of these stores. There's 3 lines that are out right now, and the only one that consistently sells is Origins. And these stores are looking at a glut of Masterverse, CGI, and they have Origins too. Eventually, the store is going to be like, this is not selling. We're not reordering that. We're not reordering that. 2 of those lines are going to go away. The only one that could continue would be Origins. And even if that didn't hypothetically continue in the stores, I could see that going to the Mattel Creations site because people are buying those.
One thing I would really want for them to do is just do the Eternia playset. I know it's not going to be like the vintage, but just to have something because of how expensive it is, and for everyone to have one at a more affordable cost, even if it comes at the price of it not being exactly how the vintage looked. Like, you know how Grayskull is, where like the paint apps seem kind of different on it or whatever. That wouldn't bother me at all. It would just be nice to have an Eternia playset that I don't have to pay $1,000 for.
Yeah. It's a
lot. I don't know. Anything else you want to finish this off with?
No, I think that's it.
I think we're good on that. And plus, we're already at the hour 11 mark.
Yeah, we were just going to do this.
Joe was like, 45 minutes, we'll be done. I'm like, no, we won't. It's not how these things ever go.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't. We were not going to spend 2 hours talking about this. We wrapped it up as quick as possible. We won't be revisiting this until the next 8 episodes, and then after that, I'm sure it'll be gone. But yeah, we'll be back for the other 8 episodes.
I would say that I kind of look forward to it, you know?
Just be curious to see how it ends.
Yeah,
I mean,
it hasn't. Yeah, it's been perfectly fine. Other than those few dumb things, perfectly fine.
Yeah. Now we're pissing off people who hate it, people who love it. So
right.
Either way, we can't win, but that's why we do this. It's our opinions. It's what we do every time, and we do this for everything from the past and the present. Again, we talk about everything, and there's stuff from the past we don't love all the time. Hence last week's episode.
Last week, perfect example.
Yeah. Talked about some bad Filmation episodes, so don't think we're just loving everything about Filmation. Nope, it's not the case.
And we'll leave this here as a teaser. Joe is going to have something Master Universe related, maybe, to show off on our Now for Something Different show
found the
tomorrow
last
night.
one. Yep, I found the last one today. I'll show it tomorrow. I can't believe I got my hands on it. So, we'll see you tomorrow. Yep, I'll show you tomorrow.
No, you got to do come on, man.
Well, if you are new to this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you can always be notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day.
I hope I get this piece of wrestling trivia right. This year at WrestleMania, there's going to be a title unification match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. This will be the 3rd time that they've had a match at WrestleMania. But they're not the only ones that have had 3 matches against each other at a WrestleMania. It's actually happened on 2 other occasions. Who were the wrestlers in the matches? Who's had 3 WrestleMania matches, singles matches, one-on-one against each other for three different WrestleManias?
Would these be main events?
Some were and some weren't.
Okay, so I almost feel like I have to throw Stone Cold for some reason in against somebody. It's not Stone Cold and The Rock, is it?
Yep.
Oh, is it?
That's one of them, but there's actually another one too.
Another one.
So the one with Rock and Stone Cold, that would have been WrestleMania 15, 17, and 19. I feel a sneeze coming on. Don't sneeze. Purple cabbage.
What?
Someone's about to sneeze. Yeah, if someone's about to sneeze, just say purple cabbage, and then they get distracted and don't sneeze.
I guess
The two
wow,
they
it's the first
constantly
I've
are
ever
like,
heard of
what?
it.
Yeah.
That might work for me. I've never fucking heard that one before.
Yeah,
but
try it on someone. If you see they're about to sneeze, just be like, purple cabbage. Huh? And then, oh, I don't have to sneeze anymore.
Who the hell? I mean, John Cena and somebody?
Nope. I mean, that would have been
Chris
close.
Jericho?
That would have been close because him and Rock had 2 matches at WrestleMania. Once in a lifetime.
Undertaker and somebody?
I'll just sneeze. I'll just sneeze. I won't even bother muting it. Let's just...
Undertaker and, Goldberg? No. I don't fucking know.
Triple H.
Goldberg's
Undertaker and Triple H. Their first match was at WrestleMania 17. I can't remember the numbers for the other one, but they had their back-to-back matches. One was the Hell in the Cell that Shawn Michaels was the guest referee, and then the other one was kind of just... It was a normal singles match, but they kind of took liberties, and it just sort of became a street fight hardcore match. So, yeah, those were the other two.
Well, I got one set, so, I guess I half right. I'll use some Steiner math. Well, I got 50-50 there, but there was a 25% that I wasn't going to get that. It could have been 33% of it, so...
And then you take my 66 and 1/3 chance of winning, you add that to my 75% chance, that's 143.8% chance. That one was funny because Petey Williams is trying not to laugh.
Oh, man, Scott Steiner, he had some interesting ones. Oh, shit.
Be pulling splinters out of your fat asses because you got some fat asses. I'm hungry.
See you next time.